Welcome back, everyone. Did you have a break? I hope you had a break. Don't sit at your computer all day. It's bad for you, trust me. Okay, so rigging. We've done our model. It's nice. It looks good. Okay. For this part, we don't need it to look good. It looks great. You've done a good job. But let's just knock this down a little bit because we need a bit of responsiveness. Okay. You can even go as far as this one. Okay. It's still there. You go back. It's still there. But we need something that looks a bit more simple. So what we're going to do in this little bit, it might be more than one video, it will be more than one video for sure, is we're going to look at kind of some of the key parts of animating, not all of animating. You can teach literally an entire undergraduate degree on animation. We're just covering a little bit in Blender to help you get started, remember. Okay, so don't hate me. Now, if you've never done rigging before, or any animation of any form, it's quite simple to start with. So basically, you have a shape, and this go like that, and what you do is you add in. Don't worry about following this. We will do this slowly in a minute. Kind of this type of thing, and put some bones in it, and you hope that they're in the middle, which they're not, because they never are. There we go. And you connect them, right? And the way in which you connect them kind of changes the way in which the relationship between objects works. So, for example, if I had like another cube, and then I had an empty, for example, so put that way down, and I said that that and that are parented. Okay, we can now see this little line, right? So then when this moves, its child moves along with it. Okay, but this, as all good children do, can run off on its own as well, but it's always attached in some way to the parent. It always has to move. When it rotates, it rotates. When it scales, it scales. It belongs to that, right? And rigging works in the same way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this. So I'm just nipping into wireframe mode there. You can do it up here as well. So I can see that this is in the middle of my shape. It's now parented to it in a special way that kind of bones work. And now if I were to kind of move this, it's going to move that, right? And I don't want to move this. I do not want to do that. The only thing I do need to do is add some of those in, right? Because we need these points to bend if we're going to bend it. So now in Blender, again, don't worry about keeping up with this because I'm just demonstrating. When I move this, we can see that this kind of bends, okay? And if I wanted to, again, don't copy me because we're going to do it in a bit. Let's just do all of that. And if I just kind of went, well, let's just rotate this one 45, and this one 45, and this one 45. And I'm just going to copy that one. Put that there again, don't worry about this. Whee! There we go, okay? So we can start to see how, and if we go back to our solid, we can see how this shape kind of deforms and plays around with the bones that are inside it. And that is what we want for here, okay? Not quite this same thing, but yeah, we want post. There we go, okay. Now, one thing that is important when you're adding an armature, so an armature is like a bone, it's like a skeleton, it's kind of a controller, is that we want to be in a 2D mode when we do it. Otherwise it's going to be all over the place, back here, over there, over there, over there. Okay, so as long as you're side on, it doesn't matter. You can be that side or you can be the other side, it doesn't matter, but make sure you've got that. And it's probably worth being in wireframe at this point. So now Shift A to add, or click on add armature, and you get this big old thing, and we don't want that. We do, but we don't want it that big. All we care about at the moment is this bit, and we want to press G and we want to grab and we want to put that bit about here. Okay, so roughly on this line where this starts, because I don't really want much of this moving. I want this moving. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here with this bone selected, and I'm going to go to edit mode, and I'm going to click this one and I'm going to grab it, and I'm just going to put it about there. Okay, so now because we're in 2D mode, that should be, yep, right in the middle. That's absolutely fine. Just check that. And then I'm going to make sure I've got this bit selected, not this bit. Make sure you've just got the end selected. And I'm going to extrude by pressing E. I'm going to put it there, and my key follower isn't working again, which is weird, but that's okay. Let's just put it over there. It likes to be open. Be right back. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to extrude back up to roughly here, so where we're then going to separate for these. And I'm probably going to go to this one. No, this one. And I'm going to extrude here, and I'm going to go back to this one. I'm going to extrude here, and then here I'm going to extrude. I can't quite see where these are from here, so I'm just going to take a guess. Oh, couldn't be more wrong. They went the other way, guys. And let's take this one and this one, go back to the side view, and we'll stick them there. So as long as they're kind of like in the mesh, don't worry if they stick out, because we're not going to see them anyway. And we just want it so that, you know, each kind of main part that we're going to move is got its own bone. So we've got a bit there, and where these parts are, these are going to be the joints, okay? And that looks about okay. So we're going to go back to object mode. We're going to select our robot first, then we're going to shift select our armature, and we're going to press Control and P, and that's going to bring up the parent mode. So again, remember in Blender, a lot of the hotkeys, they're the letter of the word that you're trying to do, which is very, very useful. And we're going to come down here, and we're going to try automatic weights. We'll give it a go, see how it works. Sometimes you want to do this one, but we'll give this one a go. So, right, now there's a moment of truth. We need to select our armature. So now we can see that there's a line here, so that's a good sign. If when you did the parenting you got this one and it didn't have that, it's because you selected the armature first. You need to select the skin and then the armature, and then it will come up. So select the armature, and now we have this pose mode, which is a new setting. Normally we just do edit an object, but we're going to go to pose, and we can see that things kind of change. And let's just grab this one, and hopefully when we rotate this, all the other bones that are connected to it are going to come along as well, like kind of when we move our arm and our hand moves, and hopefully some of this outline will move as well. Let's have a look. Yep, there we go. Okay, now if we go to solid, we're going to see some small deformations. That's okay, for now. We're just going to not animate too far out of bits. You can put restrictions on things. You can model in a way that adds more detail into bend areas, which will help and things like that. But for now, we're just covering the basics, and that's absolutely fine. So again, make sure you've got that connected. and then basically if one of the bones has worked, then they've all worked, but they might work slightly differently. Oh, there we go. So this one hasn't connected, that one's not connected. It's because I'm in the wrong one. There we go. Nobody said. We need to be in pose mode. There we go. So that works, and I could close those as well if I wanted to pick something up with it. And these will even work. So if I wanted a bit more, that will work if I want the whole thing. But oh no, didn't bring that with it, and that didn't bring that with it, and it's moving this bit here if you look there. Okay, so that's okay. It's all right. I know it looks weird, but it's okay. That just means that the weights for the armature didn't work quite as we had hoped. So I'm actually going to go back and select these. Let's try the other way and see if it gives us a better result. And I'm going to press Alt P. So remember that Alt often does the opposite of what we want. And I'm going to say clear parent. So now, when I'm in pose mode, it doesn't do anything. So remember, I need to go to object mode, select my mesh, shift select my armature, Control P, and I'm just going to try envelope weights and see what it does. And we can see that that's already moved. So I'm going to go back to pose mode, and can see that. So part of that isn't working, so that's not connected to those. And although this is tearing up here, we can see that actually the circles are now working. All except this one. Okay, so we've got some mixed results. I think overall the other way has worked slightly better. So Alt P, clear parent. We're back to where we were. Object mode, this one, Control P, automatic weights. There we go. A little bit of jaggedness on there, but that's okay. And I'm just going to test it again, just at this point, just to make sure. There we go. But this one isn't working. Okay. So if you've gotten this far, it doesn't feel like it, probably, but you've made a really big kind of step. All right. What we need to do is have a look at the weight of things. So we will do that in the next video, and weights are about how the bones connect to the flesh of things. So save up, always good practice, and I'll see you in the next video.